Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to welcome you to St Andrews for our Christmas concert under strange circumstances, but it's really lovely that we're able to have the concert, and a warm welcome to those joining online tonight. Just a few things that I have to announce before we start. You're welcome to take the kneelers off the hooks in front of you and sit on them if that would make you more comfortable. If you need the toilet, there is a new disabled toilet at the end of this corridor down there. You might like to remember, please do, remember to turn off your mobile phones if you haven't done already, or make them silent. Emergency exits are both sides at the back and through this door over on this side. There are candles around. They should be out of reach, but just be aware. Take care if you go near them, and if you're sitting near a black bucket, it's got water in it, so you might be the fire monitor if that's you. There is a short break in the middle of the concert, just to stand up and stretch your legs. Please don't go anywhere, and please remember not to start mingling and socialising. I'm afraid we have to keep our masks on throughout. We're taking donations, if you are able and willing, to the church's new charity of the year, which is Number 5, which is a charity that works with mental health issues with children and young people locally in Reading. So you've paid to come here, but if you're able to donate to Number 5, then you can do so. There are bowls at the back as you go out, or if you would like to give by card, then go out that way, and I will be hovering with our card reader and hopefully get it to work. That's all the notices. So just before I put my mask back on for the rest of the evening, let's welcome the Caversham Ensemble warmly.
everyone, and welcome to the second of our Christmas concerts by candlelight. We did our first one last night, and because we can only have a few people in the audience, we decided to put a second one on. And then Nigel, the vicar, Nigel Jones, said, well, why don't you live stream it? So welcome to anyone who may be listening online as well. That piece that we've just played was Alexander's Feast Overture, the overture to Alexander's Feast by Handel. It was first performed in 1723 at Covent Garden, and the ode from which the overture is taken was written to celebrate the power of music, which I think in these times of limited live music is incredibly appropriate. So, as I say, these two concerts have taken quite a lot of perseverance, shall we say, to be able to put them on. Two main ingredients, really. The first one is generosity. So we have the generosity of spirit of the church for allowing us to put the concerts on when many places around the country are simply refusing to have anything happen at all. All the volunteers who work really hard to make the concerts happen with their time, particularly Nigel, who has actually gone away above and beyond the call of duty, offering to live stream it with all his expert gained over the last 9 months live streaming his services. He said, well, why don't you live stream your concert? So great, thank you very much, Nigel. And then the generosity, financial generosity of two donors. Before COVID began, we had two very generous donations. Without those donations, the two concerts that last night and tonight would not have been able to go ahead. Obviously, they're loss-making concerts, so we're hugely grateful for those donations as well. So the perseverance, despite all the odds, we've tried to work with all the guidance, and we've said, well, come on, let's bring some music out to our local community, and we're really delighted to be able to do that. These difficult times were really brought starkly to light for us on Friday night. At 8 o'clock, we had a phone call from Tamas Andras, who usually leads these concerts. So he works in the RPO with Naomi and Tim as the co-leader, and he was in a COVID-19 situation at work, and he and his wife, Jenny, who were both supposed to be playing Saturday night and tonight, were unable to be here. Fortunately, in a kind of bad way, because of COVID-19, there are many out-of-work musicians. And so with just one phone call, we managed to contact David Juritz, who is leading tonight, and absolutely incredibly grateful to him for stepping up, leading, playing a concerto. Didn't turn a hair. Yeah, that's fine, no problem, I'll be there tomorrow. So huge round of applause for David. Thank you. And then, of course, we have Mikhail Gorevsky. Nope, got that wrong. Never mind. You get the idea. So he is Jenny for tonight. So thank you for coming here, braving the elements, braving COVID, and I hope you enjoy this live music experience. Without further ado, we will continue with the oboe concerto by Marcello. All of the ornamentation you hear in this concerto was written by J.S. Bach. It's particularly in the slow movement, extremely florid, and a wonderful example of the ingenuity of the Baroque masters with their art of embellishments. It is quite extraordinary, and it's absolutely beautiful. The ornaments in the outer movements are also Bach's. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
We now have for you Barber's Adagio for strings, and just before I say anything about that, just to reiterate what Mum was saying, I guess a silver lining of COVID, if you could call it that, is that amazing top-class violinists are just available at the drop of a hat. So thanks again for David and Mikhail for joining us this evening. You will definitely know this piece of music. It's one of the most famous pieces of music I think there is. But you probably have heard the arrangement for string ensemble, which Barber did himself, after he wrote his string quartet, from which this is the slow movement, his Opus 11 string quartet. So you will now hear it in its original form for just 4 players. It's traditionally become associated with expressing mourning, I suppose, and it was played at the funeral of Albert Einstein after the announcement of the death of Franklin D. Roosevelt and J.F. Kennedy, more recently to commemorate the victims of 9/11, I think, at the proms at the Albert Hall, and then even more recently, the Berlin Phil played it in Berlin in May for victims of coronavirus, so we thought it would be appropriate to play it this evening as well.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be difficult to follow that. That was absolutely beautiful. One of my favourite pieces ever, actually. We're going to play and sing some Bach for you now, though. We're going to perform two movements from Bach's Magnificat, which, of course, was written for the time of Advent, so very fitting for now. And it's the Magnificat is a setting of Mary, the Virgin Mary's song to the Lord from Luke's Gospel. The first number we're going to perform for you is The Queer Respects It, where Mary talks about how humble she is. She is the humble handmaiden of the Lord. And the second one we're going to do is the Et Exultavit, which is just about being joyful and praising the Lord.
Okay, so that's the end of the first half. We're just going to have a short break. You can stay in your seats or go outside. And we're just going to go off, and then we'll do the same, come back in down the side aisle and continue with the programme. See you in a bit.
Welcome back, everybody. We're going to perform a short carol now. It's called The Lamb, and it's by Vaughan Williams, and it's just for oboe and soprano. And it comes from Vaughan Williams' song cycle, 10 Blake Songs, which he composed in 1957 for a film called The Vision of William Blake. It was dedicated to the tenor Wilfred Brown and the oboist Janet Craxton, and it was first performed in concert on BBC Radio 3 in October 1958. Sadly, Vaughan Williams had died in August of that year, so he never got to hear the performance. I'll read you the words of the Blake poem, which was also set as a carol by John Taverner. You might well know that. It's quite often done at Christmas. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Gave thee life and bid thee feed by the stream and o'er the mead. Gave thee clothing of delight, softest clothing, woolly bright. Gave thee such a tender voice, making all the vales rejoice. Little lamb, who made thee? Dost thou know who made thee? Little lamb, I'll tell thee. Little lamb, I'll tell thee. He is called by thy name, for he calls himself a lamb. He is meek and he is mild. He became a little child. I a child and thou a lamb. We are called by his name. Little lamb, God bless thee.
Dost thou know who
perform another Bach aria for you now. And this one is from the Christmas Oratorio. If I can find the page, that is. There we go. This is a recitative and aria from the 6th part of the Christmas Oratorio, and it speaks directly to the devil and says, "You false one, you might seek to bring him down and use all your false cunning against him, but we know what you're like, and we're not going to stand for it." And then the aria that it moves into is quite a funky aria, I think. It's kind of like jazz, really, to be honest. And I feel like Bach was probably, the jazz daddy of his day. It's quite difficult to kind of find the first beat of the bar in this aria, I think. It's very dance-like, and that sort of reflects the text, which is just saying to God, just a wave of your hand is all that we need to see, just to demonstrate how laughable is the strength of men in comparison. And actually Bach set that laugh, so listen out for that. There's this amazing line which kind of descends in this sort of chromatic way, which sort of is on the word laugh or derided or ridiculed. And so I think that's quite interesting word painting from Bach, so I hope you enjoy it.
We're going to continue now with possibly one of Bach's best known ever short pieces. It really doesn't need any introduction from me.
we're nearly at the end of the concert, and it's my turn. Can I just say, for all the kind words that people have said, I'm so grateful to be here tonight, as are all of us. I think not only just to have the work, but to actually see a live audience. It's really wonderful for us. And I've heard a lot of people being thanked this evening, but Tim, Adrian, and Naomi, I haven't heard them being thanked, so I know how much work goes into putting together these programs, so I think from all of us. Bach wrote quite a few violin concertos. You probably know a lot of them as keyboard or piano concertos these days, because unfortunately the original violin versions have been lost. But fortunately we have two remaining, one in E major and the one in A minor, which we're about to play now. They're fairly short pieces, but they still are two of the greatest concertos in any violinist repertoire, so it's wonderful to have a chance to play one this evening. This one's, as most of his standard concertos, is in three movements. The first one doesn't have any kind of tempo markings, so it's pure guesswork as to how fast we play that, I'm afraid. The second one's Andante and Allegro assai, which is it's sort of got a kind of jig rhythm, but being Bach, it has to be a fugue as well. So there you go. Hope you enjoy it.
to send you away with. It being Christmas time nearly and all that, so I think you clapped well enough.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light. Next year all our troubles will be out of sight. Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Wake the Yuletide gay. Next year all our troubles will be miles away. Once again, as in olden days, happy golden days of yore. Faithful friends who were dear to us will be near to us once more. Someday soon we all will be together